Hi everyone, in this video I am going to explain how to consume an existing web service from Java code. In real time you will get requirements to consume an existing web service from Java code. In this video I will show you how to consume an existing web service called CurrencyConverter from a Java code. Basically, if you pass USD means United States dollar, and if you pass INR means Indian rupee, then the output will be 60.44, something like that. That means for $1 the equivalent is 60 Indian rupees, around approximately 60 Indian rupees. So if you pass US dollar and INR as another argument, it will give the conversion rate. So in this video I will show you how to consume this web service step by step. First you should have WSDL file. There are many web services available, and in this video I am going to take a web service called CurrencyConverter. So go to this site webservicex.net. There are many web services available. To explain how to consume, I have taken a web service called CurrencyConverter. So you should have a WSDL file. So the first step is completed. So in real time you will get some URL like this and you will be asked to consume a web service from Java code. So the first step is completed. You have a web service description language file. This is WSDL, means web service description language. It is an XML file. It explains where the service is deployed and what is the port number. Port you can think as a class in Java, and in web service terminology method can be compared to operation. So web service is nothing but some functionality deployed at some server. So we are going to invoke some operation from that service. So sorry, then you have to generate the stubs or classes that required to invoke the web service and find the service from the WSDL file. If you open this XML file, we can find the service name and we have to get the port from the service. That means port is nothing but a class. So a port contains some operations. In Java terminology you can think operations as methods. So you will get the port and you will invoke the methods in the port. So you can think as Java class. Port can be compared to a Java class and operations as methods. So let us start. Take a command prompt. Create currency converter. Can you see? When I type ws import, it says it is not recognized. What you have to do is go to the JDK path and set the bin. So set the path for the bin directory and then enter ws import. sorry, you have to give up to /bin. Can you see? These are the options available. Now I will show you. So you have to take this WSDL URL and enter WS import -d dot -p org.gl. You give some package. So after executing this command, it will create some Java files and compiles them. So I am giving the package into which those Java files need to be stored. You have to give the -keep option, then only Java files will be there. Otherwise the .java files will be removed. So to keep them, we have to say -keep, and you have to provide the WSDL and hit enter. Can you see? The WS import option generates some Java files, compiles them. So we will see the files. Go to our currency converter. Since I have asked to generate in a package org.jl, all the Java files or class files will be stored in the package called org.jl. So -p is used to give the package. -d dot, it means in the current directory generate the Java files in the package org.jl. -keep means if you don't give this option, the .java files won't be there, and you have to give the WSDL. Go to R. Can you see? Since I have given the package called org.jl, it created the Java files compiled into the package called org.jl. So now this part is completed. We have generated the stubs or classes. Stubs are nothing but some classes that are required to invoke the web service deployed on some server. So go to, next step is open this WSDL. Open a browser. And enter this URL. You will see an XML file. So go to the end of this file. You will see something called service. This is the important thing. After generating the stubs, you have to find the name of the service. So when you go to the end of the file, you will see an element called WSDL:service. So this is my service. So currency converter is a service deployed at some server. Where is it deployed? Means here is the location. So at this location, this web service currency converter is deployed. So you have to find the service name. So currency converter is the service name. You can see here is the service. So remember this service name, and then you have to remember this port. As I have already mentioned, port is nothing but a class. You can think like a Java class. So this port contains multiple operations. So in web service terminology, we will call the call method as operation. So this port contains the operations or methods that we can invoke on a web service. So now by seeing the WSDL file, we have to find the service and we have to find the port. So the third step and fourth step is completed. Now we have to invoke the methods in the port. So open, create a project, go to file, new, Java project, use project name as CurrencyConverter project, click next, click finish, then go to project, right click, properties, Java build path, add external class folder. You have to specify the path where the WS import generated the class files. You have generated them in R drive, right? So go to that R, and here is where the WS import generated the class files. So give the root folder where your package started. Where is that? Okay, so give the currency converter, click OK, click OK. So now you are ready to go to write the code to invoke the web service, the currency converter web service. Create a class org.jl test client, give some package org.jl dot currency web service, click finish. Now we have to write the code. Write a main method, so you have already understand the service name and the port name from the WSDL file, right? So what is the service name? Currency converter. So if you observe, there is a file generated with the service name currency converter. So create that currency converter service is equal to new currency converter. That is the reason I asked you to remember the service name. You have to open the WSDL, you have to find the you have to find the service name. You can see that there is one file called currency converter with the name matching here, the service name. So create that object for that. Can you see? I have already added all those class files in the build path. That is why my import is asking me to import the currency converter class. So the class name is currency converter. So now you got the service. Now get the port. How to get the port means you have to say service dot get. I have already asked you to remember the port. So if you see, the port name is currency converter soap. So there will be a method called, so you have to just append the get, and there will be a method with get currency converter soap. So just I have added the get. If you give the service and dot, it will show the methods, and you can see that there is a method called get currency converter soap. If you see, the port name is currency converter soap, so just call that. Open this. You can find what is the return type. Can you see? So the return type is currency converter soap. So you got the port. So import the port. Got it? So basically there will be a file with the service name, and there will be a method with port name in this service. So just say service dot, and you will get a method with the name port. You have to call get and the port name. Now just like normal method call, you can invoke a method which will gives the conversion rate. If you see, double conversion rate is equal to port dot. If you say port dot, it will give all the methods available. So this is the method available. As I have already mentioned, port can be compared with a class, and the methods are called operations. So conversion rate is one operation available, or one method available which we can invoke. So you have to give from currency and to currency. So since that is enum, you have to say currency dot, I am giving US dollar, comma currency dot INR. Import currency. Hope you understand why I have added the classes in the build path. So this path contains all the classes: currency converter soap, and currency, all these things. So we will print the value. Now I run this. Can you see? So basically the conversion rate is $1 is around 60 rupees, Indian rupees. So if you want to test with some other things, suppose if you want to find rupees to pounds conversion, give GBP here. GBP means I get the pounds to Indian rupees conversion now. Earlier the conversion is dollar to Indian rupee. Can you see? So 1 pound is approximately equal to 98 rupees, Indian rupees. So just convert this. So this is how you have to invoke an existing web service. Let me repeat the steps. So first you will get a WSDL file, and you have to generate the stubs using ws import command. You have to specify the package name with -p option and provide the WSDL file. Give -d dot. That means in the current directory in the package org.jl, it will create some Java files. So go to this WSDL file and find what is the service name. in the generated files there will be a file called currency converter which matches with the service name, and if you open the file, then you can see that there will be a method with the name of the port. So you can see that there is a method called get currency converter. So port is nothing but you can compare with a class. So once you get the port, how to get the port? You have to call a method called get and provide the port name. Even you need not remember this, just put dot after the service, you will get the ports. So get the port and call the operation by passing the required things or arguments. So in the real time you can use SOAP UI. There is a software called SOAP UI. Even you can use that to test the web service. So go to file, say new SOAP project, give converter, give the WSDL file. The SOAP UI is to test the web service. You can invoke the web service from SOAP UI. Click OK. If you see, it will show the methods available. Click on conversion rate. Can you see? There is a, when you click on request 1, give the values like GBP. This is one value, right? And this is INR. And click submit request. Can you see? So basically 1 pound is equal to approximately 98 Indian rupees. So internally, when you invoke an operation, internally the runtime converts this method call into an XML format. You are not seeing that XML, but internally when you make this call, the runtime, the web service runtime will convert this call into an XML format. So this format, this XML will be sent to server. So when you invoke a method, it will be converted into the XML format, and that XML will be sent to the server. Okay, and these values GBP INR, so these values will be retrieved at the web service side, and there will be a runtime that gets this XML and creates an Java object, invokes the method at the web service, and the response will be converted into an XML file again and sent back to the client. So basically what will happen when you call this method call will be converted internally to an XML file, and this XML content will be sent to the server, and the server will invoke the method called conversion rate, and that response, that content will be formed as an XML, and this XML we will receive as a response, but the runtime will take this value and converts into the double. All this thing, the formation of the XML, sending to the server, and the response will come back to the client, and it will read this value and return as a Java data type. All this will be done internally by the web service runtime. I have shown this just to show you how the XML, where the SOAP comes into picture. Here this is called SOAP message. A SOAP message will be generated when you invoke a Java method, and that SOAP message will be sent to the server, and the server reads this XML, invokes a method on the web service, and it will send a response, SOAP response, and this response will be converted back into the Java. All this will not be visible if you see this. Before seeing this, you don't know that this much happened in the background. I have shown the SOAP UI software to explain these concepts. So basically SOAP contains envelope, header, body. The body contains the message that need to be sent to the server. So in the same way, this is called response, this is called SOAP request. So when we invoke a method conversion rate, internally it will convert into an XML file, sends to the server, and this response will come from the server, and this response will be converted again into a Java return type or some Java object. Hope you understand. Thank you.